everybody, today I'm going to be doing a chain restaurant tier list. Now if you're new here, consider us to sub and ring the bell. So I did a video like this around 2 years ago called the fast food tier list. And honestly, I was going to redo that video, but honestly I don't really like doing redos of previous videos because it just seems like it's kind of like a recycled idea that I've already done. So today I'm going to be doing a chain restaurant tier list, and this is excluding fast food pretty much. So pretty much all of these are sit-down restaurants. So yeah, let's get started. So the first one is Chili's. So I went to Chili's a couple weeks ago, and the food was not really that impressive. I think I got like the boneless chicken wings, and something about it seemed like just incomplete. Like the chicken tenders or boneless wings felt too crunchy. Like they had too much breading. It feels like it really didn't have that much chicken in there. And the mac and cheese was pretty cold. Like it seems like they just microwaved it and then they didn't really do anything with it afterwards. And the fries were okay, but I feel like Chili's has kind of gone downhill a little bit because I remember it used to be pretty good, but I just wasn't really a big fan of it the last time I went there. So I'm gonna say D because the fries were okay. So yeah, Applebee's. So the last time I've been to Applebee's has been a little bit of a while ago, but I remember the last time I tried Applebee's, I thought it was just average. Like the food wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. There's not really much to say about it. I haven't been there in a long time, and I might go back there at some point because I remember the last time I went there was oh my gosh, almost 5 years ago now. I feel like it's even longer than that. But I decided to include it because I remember the food being okay. So yeah, that's a C. Fuddruckers. Oh my god. So, I don't know if it was just the location near me that sucked. When I went to Fuddruckers near me, it's now closed for good reason. Something about the food felt overly greasy. It was to the point where the grease was it felt disgusting. I don't know, there's something about the food there was very, greasy and unappetizing. And, I remember there used to be one near me, and now there's not. I thought the whole chain closed down, but apparently there are some left. And honestly, recently, if there's food that's too greasy, I have stomach problems from it. So, I'm kind of glad that I tried that back then instead of now, because I feel like it would affect me a lot worse if I tried it now. So yeah, I remember hating it. So, Ruby Tuesday. It's actually kind of sad because Ruby Tuesdays are not really that common anymore. But I remember the food being okay. I'm gonna put it at a B. I remember the food being pretty good. There used to be one at the Battlefield Mall in Springfield, but that's been replaced a long time ago. But I think there is still one in Branson. But I remember the food actually being pretty decent. Now, I don't know if I'm reviewing the past with rose-colored goggles, but I do remember the food being pretty decent there. It's kind of sad that a lot of these sit-down restaurants they're not really succeeding anymore. I mean, there's some exceptions that I'll mention later on, but Ruby Tuesday has been struggling for a long time. And it's kind of weird because I have a little bit of a Mandela effect thing, because I swear that said Ruby Tuesdays with an S, but I don't know. Red Robin. I actually really like Red Robin. There's one near the Primrose Marketplace in Springfield, and every time I go to Red Robin, I have a pretty good experience. The fries are pretty good. The burgers I think are pretty good. I feel like it's kind of underrated a little bit because I don't know if a lot of the states in the US have them, but I actually really do like Red Robin. I remember I had a birthday there, and I think it was 2018, and they went all out for my birthday party. It wasn't really a party, not really, it was just me and my dad going out and eating Red Robin. They went all out, and I know that some people don't like it when they sing happy birthday to you in public with a lot of people, and I don't really like that song either, but something about the way they did it just went, it was really authentic, and I liked it. So yeah, the food's pretty good. So yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. So Buffalo Wild Wings, I've had mixed feelings on this place. I remember the last time or the time before last time that I tried it, I thought it was okay. But the last time I tried it, I thought the chicken was very bland. It didn't have very much taste. And I believe Burger King owns this. And basically, Burger King, anything Burger King has touched except Popeyes has really gone down to crapper. Because, I mean, everyone knows that Burger King has declined for a long time. But, like, I feel like ever since Burger King bought Buffalo Wild Wings, I think that's what happened. It's been going downhill. Now, I'm not gonna say it's as bad as Fuddruckers, because Fuddruckers just was disgusting, but it just was not that great with the chicken. Actually, I will put it at D because I remember there being the sides are being pretty good, but like I feel like the chicken itself wasn't that good. So Golden Corral, bleh. Golden Corral, just what? Okay, so if you guys didn't see my 10th vlog, I went to Golden Corral towards the end of that video for the first time in a while, and oh my god, it was terrible. Like, the food literally felt like cafeteria food, but worse. And I'm like, how could you get worse than cafeteria food? And I know that it's kind of like, you can't really like judge the quality of the food because it's a buffet, but I think that argument is BS because like I feel like the food could be better, but it sucks. It was so disgusting, and like I mean at the time I thought it was pretty bad, but I didn't think it was disgusting. But it also seems like every time I eat at Golden Corral, I get sick. Like, I remember multiple times in my life where I've had a stomach illness from Golden Corral, and I think it's because it's not sanitary. I've heard a lot of people say that they, like, the company or a lot of those locations, like, have a lot of health code violations, which doesn't surprise me at all. It's just crazy how bad it was, because, like, I remember, my dad's side of the family, where my grandma, rest in peace, she would want to go to Golden Corral every time for her birthday. I think a lot of people thought the Golden Corral kind of sucked even back then. I'm actually kind of surprised like a lot of these buffet restaurants did survive the pandemic, because, especially Golden Corral, because they were already kind of struggling before that. But yeah, so Golden Corral was pretty bad. Cheddar's. I think Cheddar's is pretty good. I don't remember like exactly I mean, it's been a while since I've been there, but like I remember the food being pretty good. Yeah, I haven't been there in a while, and I might go back there to see if the food's still as good as I remember it being. Not really much to say about it, but Cheddar's I think is pretty good. So yeah, CiCi's Pizza. So I literally went here like a couple days ago, and it's not that bad. Like, I don't think it's that bad of a buffet restaurant for pizza. The location in Springfield has actually gotten better, because I remember it used to be that the CiCi's Pizza in Springfield was not very good, but I think the pizza's okay. Maybe because I went like right on opening time, or like it was like at 11 a.m. and the pizza was fresh. I still prefer Godfather's. Godfather's has the best buffet pizza in my opinion. But, like, CiCi's is not that bad. And actually, something that surprised me recently is when, I went to Branson recently, and, CiCi's Pizza was closed down. The biggest CiCi's Pizza location in the United States, I think, closed down all of a sudden. And I'm like, why? And I think maybe because it just wasn't that popular, because I didn't really see that many people in there. But it actually kind of surprised me because, like, it's a big location. And, like, I looked it up recently, and it actually has permanently closed. And it kind of sucks because, like, I think CiCi's is a little bit overhated. But I still don't think it's, like, that great, but I don't think it's that bad. So, I don't know if I would put it above Applebee's, though. But in terms of pizza, like, in general, it's not that great. But in terms of buffet pizza, I think it's decent, so. The only thing is that, like, the spaghetti sauce is terrible at the location near me. But yeah, I think it's alright. Houlihan's. Houlihan's is pretty good. Their burgers are pretty good and their sides are pretty nice. But I haven't been there in a little over a year. And I remember we went there with my mom and dad, like late night, like it was like 9 p.m. when we went, and the food was pretty good. Like most of the time at these restaurants, I get burgers. There are some exceptions like Chili's and Buffalo Wild Wings, but Houlihan's is actually pretty good. I didn't feel like I need to go back there at some point. I remember it being pretty good. So, IHOP. IHOP's average. It's not bad. It's not great. I actually prefer. Actually, I don't see it on here. I actually prefer Village Inn because, thinking I should have put that on there. But, Village Inn is pretty good in my opinion. I think IHOP is okay, but it's not, like, my favorite of the breakfast restaurants. I think Village Inn is my favorite because I remember having so many fun memories of Village Inn right before the pandemic and stuff because I haven't really been here that often. Like, it's not a restaurant that I go to that much. The only time I really go to it is when my family's with me and they want to go to IHOP. I never choose IHOP as a restaurant to go to, but it's alright. So yeah. Olive Garden. See, I kind of was an Olive Garden defender for a long time, but the last few times I've had Olive Garden, it has not been good. I'm gonna put it at an E. Now, I know some people like Olive Garden, but like something about Olive Garden, like I feel like it's really gone down the crapper. Like, I feel like a couple years ago, I liked it way more than I do now. Normally, when we get Olive Garden, we just get it for like takeout or like carry out and then eat it at our house or something like that with family. Every time since like 2020, I feel like it's just been disappointing. And like, I just feel like the food is not that good of quality anymore. Now, like, I'm not gonna say that Olive Garden was fantastic at all, it wasn't. But I thought it was fine before 2020, it seems like. But Olive Garden has just been very disappointing lately. The only thing I do like at Olive Garden now is the breadsticks. The breadsticks still hit different. Like, the breadsticks are still really good. So, yeah. So, basically, Olive Garden has just been disappointing. So, Panera Bread. I'm gonna say C on this one. I think it's average. Usually with Panera Bread, I get the mac and cheese. The mac and cheese at Panera Bread is awesome. Like, it's the white cheddar, which is really good, and I think it's a little bit better than Kraft sometimes. But, like, I know there's been a lot of controversy with this place lately because of, like, their insanely caffeinated lemonade that has caused, like, 2 deaths already. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what happened. I might have to do that post-editing. But I know there's a lot of controversy going on with this restaurant recently because of how they advertised their lemonade. I think it's a lemonade, yeah. They didn't tell people basically how much caffeine was in it because I think it's more caffeine than a freaking energy drink. Like, it's insane, and like, people have died from it. So, yeah, this place has been kind of controversy recently. So, yeah, so Panera Bread, other than the kind of controversy they've had lately, I think it's just average. So, alright, last one. Waffle House. Man, Waffle House. So, I went to this place a couple years ago. I don't know if it really deserves the hate because I know there's a lot of, like, there's a stereotype of Waffle House that there's a lot of fights that happen there, which is true, but I feel like it's kind of blown out of proportion because the food is actually pretty good. Like, I mean, like, I know that the cleanliness is not really there for Waffle House, but I think the food is alright. Like, yeah, like, it is kind of weird how many fights have happened there, but the fact that it's one of the only, like, big restaurant chains that still are open 24/7, because I really miss the days where you can go to, like, a McDonald's, basically a lot of the other restaurants to go 24 hours, like Walmart, for example. I mean, that's not a restaurant, but I feel like places and companies don't really do the 24-hour thing that much anymore. Like, Waffle House, I'm glad that still doesn't. I mean, there are some locations near me with McDonald's that does do a 24-hour time, but it just seems like it's getting less and less common throughout the years. I feel like ever since the pandemic, I feel like that's changed. There's actually a video idea that I might do in the future to see if Waffle House, I mean, because I remember going there recently, or 3 years ago, and I thought it was alright. It was pretty good, actually. But I actually want to do a video and talk about, is it really worth the bad press that it gets? Because there are a couple locations at near Springfield. So yeah, so Waffle House, I think it's actually pretty good food. I don't think it's as good as Red Robin, but I think it gets a little bit too much hate. So yeah, I'll do B. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. The videos will be back soon, and well, this one too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.